One second, everything is fine. The road stretches ahead, the sky is calm, and nothing seems out of the ordinary. Then, it all changes. In an instant, lives are lost, families are broken, and the course of history takes a grim turn. These 5 truck crashes aren't just stories from the headlines. They're moments that shattered communities, haunted survivors, and sparked major calls for change. These are the 5 most disturbing truck crash deaths that still haunt survivors to this day. 1. The night laughter turned to silence. James "Jimmy Mac" McNair. 5 truck crash deaths that still haunt survivors. 013 to 544, June 7, 2014. It was supposed to be another successful night for a troupe of comedians who had just wrapped up a show at the Dover Downs Hotel and Casino in Delaware. Spirits were high, the mood light. Among them was James McNair, better known in comedy circles as Jimmy Mac. Jimmy wasn't just another name on the bill. At 62, he'd spent a lifetime in comedy and writing. He was a mentor, a friend, a giver, someone who dedicated time to feeding the homeless and organizing community events. He once gave up a steady job in construction to chase joy through comedy full-time. Not for fame, but for friendship and purpose. That night, he was simply joining his close friend Tracy Morgan to support his tour. But just past 1 a.m. on the New Jersey Turnpike, that journey turned deadly. Their Mercedes-Benz Sprinter limo was struck from behind by a Walmart tractor trailer. The driver had reportedly been awake for over 28 hours. That kind of exhaustion turns a vehicle into a weapon, and in this case, the result was catastrophic. The crash created a 6-vehicle pileup. Jimmy McNair didn't survive. He died at the scene. His seat at the rear of the van took the brunt of the impact. Inside the wreckage, chaos reigned. Tracy Morgan was critically injured and placed in a medically induced coma. Multiple fractures, a traumatic brain injury, and emotional trauma that would take months of recovery followed. Emergency exits jammed, a plywood partition blocked escape. Even the van's own modifications turned into hazards. Jimmy's death hit the comedy world hard. This was a man who had helped countless comedians shine, who remained loyal even as others around him rose to fame. For Tracy Morgan, it was a loss too deep for words. In one show, he even left an empty chair on stage, a silent but powerful tribute to his friend. Later, Walmart reached a $90 million settlement with the victims, one of the largest in personal injury history. But that wasn't the end of it. Legal battles continued for years. Insurance companies pushed back, claiming Walmart had settled too fast. The incident also sparked a wider debate about driver fatigue, van safety designs, and regulations in the trucking industry. The National Transportation Safety Board ruled the crash preventable. And Jimmy's memory? It still lingers in the comedy scene, in Tracy's life, and in every conversation about what should have never happened. 2. The Humboldt Broncos bus crash, a nation in mourning. 5 truck crash deaths that still haunt survivors. 5:48 to 11:20, April 6, 2018. A bright, clear day in Saskatchewan, Canada. There wasn't a single cloud in the sky, and the roads were dry. Everything felt routine. A bus carrying 28 people from the Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team rolled north on Highway 35. These weren't just athletes. They were community heroes. Kids who lived with local families, went to nearby schools, and represented the heart of Humboldt, a town of fewer than 6,000 people. They were heading to a playoff game in Nipawin. Spirits were high, and the team was hungry for redemption after a tough loss in triple overtime. But then, 5 p.m. near Armley Corner, everything went still. A transport truck driven by 29-year-old Jaskirat Singh Sidhu blew past a stop sign at nearly 100 kilometers per hour, barreling into the side of the team bus. The collision tore both vehicles apart and scattered players and staff across a snow-covered field. The front of the bus was crushed. Peat moss from the truck exploded into the air. What had moments earlier been a hopeful ride turned into devastation. Inside the bus, panic. Bodies thrown, metal twisted, windows shattered. Defenseman Ryan Strashnitsky woke up paralyzed in the snow. Logan Boulay, another defenseman, didn't survive. In total, 16 lives were lost, including players, coaches, and even the trusted bus driver, Glenn Dirksen. Emergency crews raced in, but for many, it was too late. Others were transported to hospitals, but 2 more died there. Confusion made the heartbreak even worse. One survivor, Xavier Labelle, was mistakenly identified as another player. It took days before the mix-up was corrected. Tributes came flooding in, not just from across Canada, but worldwide. NHL teams wore Humboldt jerseys. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gave his condolences. Thousands packed into Humboldt for a memorial. The pain was national. The crash led to sweeping changes in Canada's transport safety standards, from new training rules for truck drivers to rumble strips and even mandatory seatbelts on buses. Sidhu was sentenced to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to 29 charges. He was later released on parole and now faces deportation to India, a topic that still divides families of the victims. Some call for justice through his removal. Others, like Ryan Strashnitsky, have shown remarkable forgiveness, hoping Sidhu finds peace, human to human. But no matter what side people land on, one thing is clear. This wasn't just a crash. It was a moment that changed a town, a team, and an entire country forever. 3. Fire on Interstate 5, the Humboldt State Tragedy. April 10th, 2014. Around 6 p.m., Interstate 5 in Northern California was humming with end-of-day traffic. On one side of the highway, a charter bus packed with 44 high school students was heading north, on their way to a college visit at Humboldt State University. For many of them, this was the beginning of a dream. They were first-generation college hopefuls. Some had never traveled this far from home. Meanwhile, on the other side, a FedEx truck was barreling south. And then, out of nowhere, it crossed the 60-foot median, clipped a car, and slammed head-on into the student bus. The explosion was immediate. Fire engulfed both vehicles. The heat was so intense, survivors described people running from the wreckage still on fire. Others couldn't escape. Some were trapped, while others were hurled out windows. One student, Jonathan Gutierrez, woke up just in time to jump out. He escaped with a split eyebrow and bruises, but lost everything else. Others weren't so lucky. Ismael Jimenez, a student from Animo Charter High School, shattered a window and began pulling classmates to safety, one by one. He saved lives, but the flames caught up to him. He didn't make it. Among the 10 who died were students like Denise Gomez, who loved soccer and journalism, and Marissa Serrato, whose twin sister was on the other bus, the one that arrived safely. 3 adult chaperones also perished, including Arthur Arzola, an admissions counselor from Humboldt. His passion was helping underserved kids get to college. The FedEx truck driver, Tim Evans, also died. His record was clean. He was healthy. There were no drugs or alcohol involved. Investigators couldn't explain why the truck veered across the median. Some witnesses claimed they saw fire before the impact. Others weren't so sure. No conclusive cause was ever confirmed. Attention turned to what could have prevented it. There was no barrier in the median. Federal rules didn't require one because it was 60 feet wide, just past the regulation cutoff of 50. A fire suppression system on the bus could have helped, but it wasn't required at the time. 10 lives gone, over 30 others injured, many left with physical and emotional scars. Students were temporarily housed in dorms at Humboldt State. Grief counselors stepped in. Families demanded answers. And still, the central question remained, why did the truck cross that median? 4. The Karth family's underride tragedy, 2 lives, 1 legacy. May 4th, 2013. The Karth family was on the road heading to a wedding. Marianne Karth was behind the wheel, joined by 3 of her 9 children. Caleb was up front. In the back sat Annalia, 17, and Mary, 13. The drive was filled with laughter, stories, and excitement. Then traffic slowed. Cars were inching forward. Marianne eased off the gas. But behind them, a car hauler truck, fully loaded, was not slowing down. It slammed into their Ford Crown Victoria, launching the car into another vehicle and then shoving it beneath the rear of a tractor trailer. That trailer had an underride guard, a metal bar meant to prevent a car from sliding under a truck. But it failed. It shattered on impact. The car's rear was crushed. Analia died on the spot. Mary survived a few days, but her injuries were too severe. Mary Ann was injured. Caleb suffered a concussion but walked away. In the hospital, first responders had to cut off Mary's braids to treat her. Those braids became a keepsake, a heartbreaking symbol of a life lost. The crash led the Karth family to action. They wanted to know why the underride guard didn't work. Turns out the guard met federal standards from 1998, but there was no strength testing required. That meant in real-world crashes, guards could, and often did, fail. The Karths became tireless advocates. They pushed for new legislation, met with lawmakers, and joined forces with other grieving parents. Slowly, change came. Companies like Stoughton and Vanguard redesigned their guards. J.B. Hunt voluntarily upgraded trailers, but it took until 2022 for parts of the proposed law to become reality, nearly a decade too late for Analia and Mary. Today, a memorial bench in the family's garden honors them. Mary Ann still serves on the Federal Advisory Committee on Underride Protection, and the fight continues. Because underride crashes are still happening, and many states don't even track them. This wasn't just one tragic crash, it became a mission, one that's still ongoing. 5. 28 vehicles, one fireball, the Lakewood catastrophe. April 25th, 2019. Near Lakewood, Colorado, Interstate 70 was crawling. A school bus crash had backed up traffic for miles. Drivers were stuck, brake lights glowing in the afternoon sun. Then came a sound like thunder. A semi-truck carrying lumber blasted down the mountain, its brakes completely gone. Behind the wheel was Rogel Lazaro Aguilera Medeiros, a 23-year-old Cuban immigrant working for a Houston-based trucking company. He missed multiple runaway ramps, escape lanes, meant for exactly this situation. The truck reached 85 miles per hour. Ahead, traffic was still bumper to bumper. Then, impact. The truck smashed into 28 vehicles, including 3 other semis. There was a gas tanker, a truck filled with mattresses, and Aguilera's own lumber load. It was the perfect storm. Fuel, wood, pressure, and fire. The explosion rocked the entire stretch. A massive fireball erupted. Smoke billowed high into the sky. The flames were so intense, firefighters battled for hours. The highway didn't reopen until the following evening. 4 people were killed: Doyle Harrison, William Bailey, Stanley Politano, and Miguel Angel Lamas Arellano. 6 others were injured, including an EMT who was pregnant at the time. Aguilera survived, but he was arrested the next day and charged with 40 counts, including vehicular homicide. Prosecutors called it reckless. He'd ignored warning signs, passed escape routes, and never slowed down. His employer had its own baggage. Over 30 safety violations in just 2 years, including hiring drivers who couldn't read English road signs. The trial sparked outrage. Aguilera received a 110-year sentence, something even the judge admitted was excessive. Protests followed. Millions signed petitions. Finally, the governor commuted the sentence to 10 years. Today, Aguilera sits in prison, still haunted by that day. And Colorado has since built new escape ramps, silent markers of a tragedy that should never have happened. These aren't just statistics. These are lives, families, communities, forever changed in the blink of an eye. Each crash was preventable. Each left behind pain that still echoes today. But from those ashes came change, new laws, new safety measures, and movements powered by grief and love. And for the survivors, families, and those left behind, the road forward is one they still travel every day. If stories like these matter to you, if safety, awareness, and honoring lives lost are causes worth spreading, then hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more powerful stories.